This is Donna with More Than a Review, and I am thrilled to be here with Judy today. She has written a book that part of it is set in Israel, and just an excellent book. It's Blood Moon Redemption, and very action-packed. So, Judy, I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about your book.
Well, I grew up on the shores of Lake Huron in Michigan, in a little town, little village. I was the youngest of four, very typical growing up, nothing out of the ordinary. So I grew to love the water. When I moved to Wisconsin, we live in Door County, which is a peninsula from Green Bay. So again, we're near the water, and that just really speaks to me. I know we're set here in the mountains, and that really speaks to a lot of people. And I'm I'm a water girl, and I love that. And moving to Wisconsin, I became a huge Packer fan, and so I've written two books. I'll just pick these up real quick. My Cheesehead devotionals, the kickoff edition and the Hall of Fame edition, and so that's my Twitter handle is Packer Judy. Oh. But then I also do fiction, and so Blood Moon Redemption is a story of a woman that is named after a relic that came with Columbus. Now Columbus, there's a lot of history, a lot of evidence that he was part Jewish, and so I take that premise that he opened the door. He left 3 days after the king and queen in Spain evicted the Jews, and they had to be out by July 31st. He sailed on August 3rd and came to America and the Americas and opened up a new world for them. It was also a time of the blood moons, which are 4 blood moons at the time of the Jewish feast days. So there's 4 sequential. And so that happened right after that time, again in 48, again in 67, and then just a few years ago. And so I take the premise that as the Jews were leaving, the only thing that they were able to bring with them was the tassel of a prayer shawl, and that became a relic. And so as this goes through time with their history, then there's the young lawyer, up and coming, very smart, on top of things, and her name is Tassel, and she hates it. Her mother has done some research and named her after this tassel, this relic that has been in their family. And she goes by Tassie. But this is her journey as she deals with all of this and falls in love with a man who then turns out to have terrorist connections, and she's kidnapped, and so she's in Israel and Syria and all around, and so the purpose, and so you'll have to read the rest to find out. It's it's a little edgy, and it's political and biblical and historical. It's got all those little elements in there, touch of romance in there, and the purpose, there's a lot of books that have been written about all of these topics with the blood moons and prophecies and end times, and I wanted to put it in a fiction form, because not everybody's going to read the nonfiction didactic information. And so I wanted a fiction form, and so this is what I wrote, and it's now up for a Sela Award tonight, so I'm very excited about that. And
so I noticed on the website you have a Bible study.
Yes, I wrote a Bible study, put together a Bible study with a lot of my research. I've been a part of Christians United for Israel, and I love all the things about supporting Israel, praying for Israel, standing with Israel. And I wanted people to understand that and understand the blood moon. And so that's with the book. But I also then related it to blood covenant, which the blood covenant that God made with Abraham and then carried on, through Jesus to us. And I wanted people to understand the strong bond that is, the unbreakable bond that is. And so I wrote blood covenant Israel, and the end times, and kind of tied all that in together in a Bible study. And it's just right there on the website, so anybody can go and take advantage of that.
So let's tell them what your website address
Oh,
is.
JudithDuCharme.com, and DuCharme is DuCharme.
Very good.
JudithDuCharme.com.
Yeah, because I saw the Bible study and it was very good. So I
Thank
thought it would it'd be great to let people know that's a free resource. So,
Yes.
So are you working on anything else?
Yes, I am working on a historical story of a young girl being raised around in the islands and the lighthouses of Door County with the shipwrecks and things like that. So that's my work in progress.
That is great. That is
Yes.
great. Oh my goodness. So I was going to ask you about the publishing process. So from the writing to publishing, like what do you feel like is harder, like trying to
publishing. marketing, but some people love that. I love the writing. I'm more what you call a pantster.
Oh.
I'm a little undisciplined. I work, well, I don't like deadlines, but I do work under deadlines, and sometimes, and even as a teacher, I didn't mention that, I was a teacher for 22 years. I taught 5th grade. So I enjoy, the kids and activities and hands-on and that. And so writing itself can be a little tedious. So I'm not real good at saying I'm going to sit down and write for 3 hours unless I really get the anointing. And so I found, in fact, I wrote a blog called the 45-Minute Principle, where whatever it is, you can usually do it for at least 45 minutes. So if I can just set my mind, okay, I'm just going to work on this for 45 minutes, sit down, do that. Sometimes it'll go longer. I mean, it could be with cleaning out a closet as well. And so, but, so sometimes I do that and I just sit down. I should be a little more disciplined, I will admit. When I got my first book written, I was dumbfounded as how to do marketing. Yeah. And Dee Breston, who is lives near me, and I know her son, and so I called her and asked, and she's an author, a very well-known author, and I was like, what do I do now? And she said, go to a writing conference. Oh. And so that was where I honed my skill and met writers and publishers and agents and connections and networking, and began to understand marketing, and also met my publishers for my books.
Great.
And so, but even now, I'm fine one-on-one talking with people, saying, these are my books, would you like to sell them? But going online, it's a little bit more of a challenge for me, going through that little square window into cyber world.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard that from several authors, but that you either love the writing part, and then that marketing side is a different skill set and just a lot harder. So, so what's the best money you've ever spent as a writer?
The best what?
The best money.
The best money I've ever spent as a writer, probably the writers' conferences.
The conferences.
Yes, I would highly recommend it to anybody that is wanting to write, even if you haven't started. Yeah. Or if you've started, or and now you don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Where to get it published.
Yeah. We have noticed here at the conference there's all levels. So,
there are.
Yeah. So I always like to close with something fun. So what would well, do we want to real quick show your other books before we do your other one?
All right. I mentioned my Cheesehead Devotionals, Hall of Fame and Kickoff.
And those, I was thinking one of those would run an award.
Yes, this one has this one got Best New Writer at Right to Publish, and then this one got second place in Nonfiction through Serious Writer, and it got a finalist in the Indie Excellence Awards. Okay. And then I have Society of the Lamb, which they're just doing an audio version of it now. This is my very first one. And this is kind of futuristic, and it's about a group of young people who are learning to be strong despite persecution, and how they are, their inner man is set free, and they learn to shout within. And then I have this one, Christmas Ivy, is just a sweet Christmas story. This is only available, I have it printed form that I can sell, but online it's only as an ebook. Christmas Ivy, and it won. It was a winner for the National Indie Excellence,
Oh, good.
and it's just a real sweet Christmas story of a unusual visitation by a girl's grandparents and provision from the Lord. And then Run with the Wind. I'm all over the place. This is a historical, inspirational romance set in Florida with the Cracker Cowboys.
Oh.
So, and
Very
so
good.
those are the other books.
So is it hard to go from one genre to another?
I'm just all over the place. So
Well, obviously you do it well, though.
I know, but it's hard when people say, "Well, where do you write?" I go, "Well,
Depends on the day.
yes."
Okay, so our one fun question, what would listeners and readers be surprised to know about you?
Well, I'm not surprised so much that I'm in my 60s, but in my 60s, I'm a jet skier, and I can launch it and put it in the water and get it out all by myself.
Wow.
So back up that car. So that was a trick.
That is
So
great.
I don't know if that's.
Yes, because
I love
that's
to
hard.
jet ski. I love to be out in the water.
And that's tough on your knees. I'm just walking this campus has been hard on my knees. You're probably the one in the best shape we've got here. That's awesome.
That's
Oh,
funny.
well, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be able to help share your books, and I'm looking forward to Blood Moon Redemption. So
Thank you very much.
thank you, guys.